Welcome to our lesson on volume of triangular prisms. As mentioned in the last video, the volume of any prism is always the area of the base times the height. Again, capital B times H. And B again stands for the area of the base. In a triangular prism, the base shape is a triangle. So, to find the volume of a triangular prism, first we need to find the area of the triangle. Then we can multiply it by the height of the shape. Now remember, the height of the shape is found between the two bases. It's the length between the two bases. Alright, so here are the steps. Step 1, identify the base shape. Step 2, find the area of the base. Step 3, multiply the area of the base times the height of the shape. And then the last step is to label it in cubed units, as we are talking about the amount of cubes that can fit inside of the shape. Alright, let's go ahead and look at shape 1. In shape 1, I can see that the triangle, the base, is right here, which means that the height is found here. It's kind of flipped on its side right now, which is a little bit confusing, but again, remember the base of a triangular prism is a triangle. So right here is the height of the triangle. Right here is the base of the triangle, and right there is the height of the 3D shape. Alright, let's go ahead and start. So the first thing that I want to write out is that the volume equals base time, the area of the base times height. Now the first thing I need to do is find the area of the base, which is going to be half BH because of course it's a triangle. So we're going to have half times the base of the triangle, which is 5, times the height. The triangle is too tall, so times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Half of that is 5. Now, that's just the area of the base. So if we were to fill that bottom triangle area, we could fill it with 5 meters squared. But we want to fill it the entire 3D shape. So we want the area of the base, then multiplied by the height. And again, the height of the 3D shape from one base to the next is 3. So my volume here is going to be 5 times 3, which is 15 meters cubed. Alright, go ahead and try the next two on your own while you pause this video, and then when you're ready, you can press play. Alright, hopefully you found the same answers as me for numbers 2 and 3. Here I am showing you the answers. Let's take a look. We had a base shape of a triangle. The base of the triangle was 2. The height of the triangle was 3.2. And then the actual height of the shape from one base to the next was 4. So originally we found if we were to just shade in our base, we would get 3.2. But of course we want the actual volume, which is the area of the base times height. So we find the answer for number 2 is 12.8. And then we do the same thing for number 3. The shape of the base is a triangle. We find out that the base is 1.5 and the height of the triangle is 2.5. And then the actual height from one base to the next is 2 yards. So just my base area would be 1.875. Now we do not want to round that. We want to leave it the way it is, and we're going to plug that in. Base area of the base, times the height. And for number 3, we get an answer of 3.75. And of course we label it in yards cubed. Alright, which is the volume of a cylinder. It says, in a prism, the area of the base tells you how many cubes can fit in the bottom layer of the shape. The area of the base is represented as, and we know the answer to that, capital B. Let's review the algorithm for finding the volume of a prism. This is the exact same thing we just did, but now we're going to apply it to cylinders. So I identify the shape of the base, find the area of the base, and then you're going to multiply the area of the base times the height of the 3D shape, and you'll label it in cubed units. Alright, so this little diagram shows you where the radius would be, where the height would be, and then it's showing you that the base of a circle, or the base of a cylinder, is a circle, so it's going to be pi r squared. Let's try it. This shape has a circle base. So the formula, the area formula for a base, is going to be pi r squared. Now, I do want you to write this down. This is very important. We're going to use 3.14 as pi. That way we will be consistent, we won't need to round at all, and we'll all have the same answer. So go ahead and throughout this entire notes session, as well as any time that you do volume of a cylinder, use 3.14 as pi. Alright, so let's fill it in. We've got base equals, area of the base equals 3.14 times the radius squared. So we're going to say times 2 squared. And when I calculate all of that out, I get 12.56. Now that would be if I were just filling in that circle bottom, that bottom of the cylinder, the base. How many layers of the base do we have? Well, we see that our height is 5, which means we have 5 chunks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, those aren't very even, but if you can imagine them as different layers of our cylinder, we know that the base, 12.56, would be multiplied by 5. So volume equals capital BH. The capital B, the area of the base, is 12.56 times the height, which is 5. So our volume here would be 62.8. And our label would be inches cubed, which is our last step, labeling our answer. Alright, now your turn to try the next. Go ahead and pause this video and then press play when you're ready. Alright, hopefully you received the same answers. We take a look. We see that the formula for the first one, it's of course going to be volume equals the area of the base times height. And we're going to use 3.14 as pi. Remember that this right here is showing you the entire diameter. We just want a radius, which is half. So when we go to plug this in for our radius squared, it's not going to be 10 squared, it's going to be 5 squared. So we get our base as 78.5, and again, that would be if we were just shading in that bottom circle, but we've got 6 layers of that. So we're going to have to multiply by 6, and we get the volume is 471 feet cubed. In the next one, we use our formula, and we find out that the base is 50.24, the area of the base, and then we're going to multiply that by 12.9, and we get our final result, which is 648.1 feet cubed. Alright, and then our last example, our radius is 10, so we're going to plug that in. And we get the area of the base would be 314, but we need to multiply that by 18 because that's our height, our length between the first base and the second base. And so our total volume here is 5,652 millimeters cubed. All right, that's it. Thank you and have a good day.